You don't have time to start your own business.
No, you don't.
Is that what your friends are telling you? Or maybe that's what you've been telling yourself, and that's what's been stopping you from starting your own business. They just don't understand how much you want it and how much you've been thinking about it and how much it's not doing it, eating you inside.
I wanted that so much.
I'm a living proof that it's absolutely possible to have a thriving coaching business while having a job, family, kids. And over the last 10 years, I've been balancing having 4 kids, having a job, and multiple businesses all at the same time.
Wow.
In this video, I will share with you 7 practical strategies and mindset shifts that help me and my coaching clients to build their businesses while having a job, a family, and other commitments. Let's rock and roll.
Boom.
So the first strategy, and one of the most important ones, is choose your priority and lower the standards for everything else. I know it's hard.
It's hard.
For us overachievers, we want to have it all and we want to do it all the best we can. But our mental capacity is limited, our time is limited, our energy is limited.
And yet,
We always find time for what matters, for what's important for us. If you choose that 2025, you're going to dedicate to building a business, then you will find time for it, right? Now, the second part of it is you need to make everything else not a priority. Now, that doesn't mean you don't do it, because we can't stop doing things. You can't stop going to work. You can't stop taking care of your kids. You can't stop cleaning your house, but you do it.
Good enough.
So good enough should become your standard for anything that is not a current focus. And your current focus for the 2025 is building your business. Second strategy is talk to your spouse.
what?
If you have kids, this becomes super important, but even if you don't, you need to do it. You need to share with her, with him, that this is a priority for you for 2025. You only setting this a priority for a year, because with a new business, just like with newborn, the first year is one of the most important years. So you will need support from your spouse. The marriage is never 50-50. Just trust me, with the 22 years of marriage experience, it's always a balance, but it's a balance on the long term. When I was studying for executive MBA, flying to London every 2 weeks for a weekend, my husband took care of our 3 sons.
Your husband is a saint.
You know, you must talk to your partner, spouse, that you will not be as available, and that if they can take more on their plate, and that's how you'd find that time. So the strategy number 3 is become Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck, yes, Scrooge McDuck, but not with money, but with time. Do less, eliminate more, learn to say
No.
no should become your favorite word. People will not like it, especially if you're a yes person. If you're an overachiever, you like to say yes to your boss, you like to say yes to your spouse, to your friends. Now you will need to learn how to say no. No should be your default answer. Is it uncomfortable?
I bet it is.
Starting your own business is super uncomfortable, and there are so many uncomfortable other things you will need to do that it will be a good practice to learn the discomfort, and you don't have to explain why you can't do things.
No is a complete sentence.
Now you may choose to explain, but you don't have to. When you say no to other people's requests, you're saying yes to your own business. Okay, the next strategy is realize that not all time is the same. You know how people say there are 24 hours in a day? Well, that's theoretically it's correct, but practically it's not.
Bullshit.
Because at different time of the day, we are in a different state emotionally, and also our mental capacity, our ability to do things quicker, like productivity, is totally different
Totally.
during different times of the day. So each of us has certain period of the day, which you may call peak performance period. This is the period where our productivity is from 200 to 1000 times better than the rest of the day. And you probably know which time of the day you do things at light speed.
I am more.
When you plan your day, and I assume you do some sort of a daily planning, weekly planning, put working on your business during those peak hours. That means that you don't need to have hours and hours of free time that you're never gonna have with the job, with the family, with other commitments, friends, and some hobbies we don't want to give up. We have to be more creative. And knowing your peak performance times is helping you to put the most important tasks that we identified as our priority, building your business, during those hours. Strategy number 5 is buy time.
Duh.
How can you buy time? First, you can buy back your own time. You can outsource tasks that are not important, technical, repetitive. It has to be home and work. For example, cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping, walking the dog. Be radical about it. Right now, time is your most valuable resource.
What else you got?
You can buy time by hiring a business coach instead of figuring out things on your own, trying an error.
Free your mind.
Inevitably, your road to success will be quicker. Strategy number 6 is smart multitasking.
No way.
I'm sure you've heard that multitasking is bad for you, that you should never multitask.
It's evil.
I don't agree. If you're someone who wants to have it all, then you must multitask. Now, you must multitask smartly. And that means combine activities that employ different areas of your brain, the thinking part and the doing part.
Tell me more.
I do walking and listening to the podcast. I also try to combine not just walking for the sake of walking, but I'm going for the grocery shopping, or going to the drugstore, or, I'm just trying to go on foot where I would drive, but I do my exercise or my kind of sporty thing and do the grocery shopping and listen to the podcast. Having a work call while you're walking is another great way to multitask. Combine things that don't conflict with each other. Another smart multitasking is try to involve other people in the activities you would do alone. Yoga with your spouse or your partner, with your kids, with your spouse, with your friends. When I was in Portugal, my kids wanted to have yachting.
A boat.
Learn how to do yachting. I joined them. So for me, it was sport, but also spending time with my kids. Strategy number 7 is create forcing functions and limitations. I mush them together. They're slightly different. They kind of have the same mechanism. They're forcing us to do something that it would take us longer, or we wouldn't do, we would procrastinate on.
Do I need it?
Yes.
Forcing functions is basically when you create a situation forcing you to do something. I bought a dog, well, for many reasons, but one of them because I wanted a walk every morning to get some sunlight. After COVID, I was just struggling to go outside, and that helped. 99% of the days I go out first thing in the morning. Here's a business example. Almost the whole of last year, I issued a weekly newsletter, Thriving Coach Sunday. If you're not subscribed, do that now. I didn't do the last one because I wanted to change the way I create a newsletter, starting with the YouTube video.
Smart.
This year, my goal is to go have it on YouTube. I made a decision and made a commitment to myself that my first newsletter for this year will be based on the YouTube video. Now, I didn't film it last week.
Shame on you.
I'm recording it now. I don't feel I'm ready. I don't like the way I look. I don't like so many things about this video.
You are Amazing.
but I will issue it. And I'm limited. The second part of this strategy is limitation. I'm limited to this week because I want to issue my Thriving Coach Sunday newsletter on Sunday. It's working. So use forcing functions and limitations to help you move forward and condense tasks to the time available in your calendar. Before we wrap up,
Wait!
I want to say a word of caution. I want to repeat myself. It is absolutely possible to do it all. But whatever you do, don't do it by sacrificing sleep.
I don't sleep.
I tried it. That didn't work. That didn't end up well. When I was studying for my coaching certification back in 2017, and I was thinking that my day is full. I already had my business. I have a young kid. And I just completed my MBA. I couldn't ask too much of my husband. So I thought I found a brilliant idea.
Really?
Really?
I took the class that was my time from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. 3 times a week for half a year.
You are nuts.
Not only I was not fully concentrated, but it ruined my sleep. I've completed it, but it took me a very long time to recover. Luckily, it did not impact it permanently, my health, but I promised myself I'm never gonna sacrifice my sleep for anything. I have done that part for my 4 kids when they were young, but that's a different story. Find pockets of time by using these 7 strategies, but none of them include stop talking to your friends, stop watching movies. You probably guess I'm a big fan of movies. And then don't sacrifice your health. Make sure you have enough sleep. Make sure you eating well. Make sure you do some sort of exercise. And again, you can get it to the good enough, to the minimal, but don't sacrifice.
Woof. That was a lot.
But tell me, which one of the 7 strategies were like aha moment for you and you eager to go and implement?
Just a quick one.
Also, maybe you have your own strategy that helps you have it all. I hope by implementing these strategies, or at least some of them, you're gonna have 20, 30, 60 minutes a day or some hours during the weekend. That's all you need. Now you have this time, you freed it up, you put it on your calendar, you're not sure
I have a question.
if it is a good time to start a coaching business. Well, everybody around you is a coach or wants to be a coach. Maybe it's overcrowded. Maybe you shouldn't become one. In the next video, I'm gonna tell you why 2025 is the best year yet to start a coaching business.